Bitch ass motherfucker. Watch this. Watch this. Woo!
They got that landmine, so if you hear it go off, you know someone's trying to get on the roof.
Yep, they just did it.
Oh, there you go.
Little sucker.
Go.
Hey, up top, up top, up top, up top.
Hey, what is up everyone? Today I'm coming at you with my best kilo loadout for Warzone and Black Ops 6. This is probably one of the more popular ARs going on right now, as it really excels at medium range around 50 meters, but also has nice accuracy at longer ranges and has a very nice time to kill. I hope you all enjoy and find this video helpful. If so, please do me a huge favor and smash that like button. Also be sure to drop a comment down below and subscribe for future content. So let's get into it. Alright everyone, so here we go. Now first things first, I just want to say something. I am going to be using an optic on this weapon. If you do not want to use an optic, since it does have some pretty nice iron sights, I would recommend using a laser, since we're going to be filling up the rest of the attachment slots. And the laser that I would recommend is the target laser, helping you with that aim idle sway delay, as well as your aim walking steadiness. So as your aim down sights, the walking steadiness is increased, as well as aim idle sway delay. And what that means is basically when you aim down sight, it takes a little bit longer before it starts to kind of move around and sway on you a little bit, obviously, right? And if you use this laser, it's going to push it up to 3,000 milliseconds compared to the 2,200 for the base. So just throwing that out there, but I'm not a huge fan of lasers. I've mentioned that before. And what I really like is a nice clean optic. I like the Kepler Microflex. If you do not like that, the Prisma Tech Reflex is a pretty nice one as well. Or the Volshinsky Reflex. It has a pretty nice window, and you can, acquire targets very easily. But I'm going to be going with the Kepler Microflex, so let's lock that in right there. And move on to the muzzle. Now, again, previously I've mentioned the combo that I use between the muzzle and the underbarrel, and that is the compensator for that vertical recoil control and the recoil stabilization. As you can see, that's a pretty nice chunk there, 37%, 38%, and to me, that's a must. You could always go with the monolithic suppressor. I've seen a lot of people using this. It takes you off the mini-map, gives you more velocity as well as damage range, but it really knocks down your ADS speed. As you can see, my ADS speed right now is 325 milliseconds. That is really not good at all. So I'm going to be using the compensator for that vertical control, and we're going to lock that in right now. Now, moving on to the underbarrel, like I had mentioned before in a previous video, I like to use the muzzle compensator with the vertical foregrip underbarrel, because one works on vertical, one works on horizontal, and when you combine them, obviously it really dials you in, especially at a distance. And as you can see, that's a pretty big chunk, 44%. And hey, I mean, you can't really beat that. So we're going to go with the vertical foregrip and lock that in right now. Now over to the barrel. I really enjoy distance as much as possible. If I can't hit you at a distance, to me it's really not all that worth it, so I'm going to be using the long barrel. You could use the reinforced barrel to get a little bit of extra bullet velocity. As you can see, pushes you up over 1100 meters per second. But if you take a look at the damage effective range, 44 meters to 57 meters compared to 51 to 66, that's a huge difference. So I'm going to be going with the long barrel so I can hit you at a distance. And we're going to lock that one in right there. Now moving on to the magazine, I really only like to use the extended mag 1, simply because as soon as you go to the extended mag 2, again, it takes away from your aim down sight speed, putting you at 290, so you're almost at 300 milliseconds. I like to keep it below 250, if not below 200 if possible. So we're going to be going with the extended mag 1, and it does not have any negatives at all, but it gives you 50 rounds in the magazine. 50 to 60, 10 rounds isn't really going to make you or break you in a lot of gunfights, so I'm just going to go with that extended mag 1, lock that in right now. Now going on to the rear grip, what I typically always go with is the quick draw grip. with that aim down sight speed and jumping aim down sight speed for those of you that like to hop around walls and just start laying into people. And as you can see, it takes me down to 188 milliseconds, and the jump to aim down sight speed is 232. So that's not too bad right there. I really enjoy the quick draw grip, so we're going to lock that one in right there. Moving on to the stock. If you want, you could go with no stock. That does help you a lot with the hip fire movement speed, the movement speed specifically, and strafing moving speed. So when you're moving left to right, aiming down sights, that's going to help you out right there. But I really enjoy the balance stock. Helps you with the strafing, hip fire, movement speed goes up as well as the aim walking movement speed. So the speed of movement is kind of where it's at with this one for me. To each their own. If you want, again, try that no stock, and you'd be pretty surprised not having a stock on a rifle would do for you. But I'm going to use this balance stock. We're going to lock that one in right there. Now, again, we already spoke about lasers, so I'm not going to talk about that anymore. But the fire mods, to me, there's two options. You could use the overpressure, that's going to push you over 1,000 meters per second for the velocity, or the recoil springs that are going to do a whole lot for your horizontal and vertical recoil. As you can see, 16% across the board there. That is really nice, and it makes it very, very easy to control. I'm going to go with the recoil springs and lock that one in right there. So that is my main build right there. Now let's go over to the firing range and see how this thing does. Okay, so here we go in the firing range. First, before we do anything else, let's check out the recoil pattern. I will not touch the sticks at all, and we'll just see what happens here. So, a pretty tight pattern, a little bit to the left there, but in all honesty, when you're firing the time to kill, it's not really going to affect it that much. You really don't need to drag right to hit your targets, but it does have a little bit of a horizontal sway still. But let's see how it fares on these guys. Not too bad, not too bad, not too bad. And let's try it way back there. Let's try it way back. It might take a second, but we will get them, like you can see there. So that's at 100 meters. So as you can see, these guys just get laid out pretty quick here. And, I mean, I'm not really missing many shots, I don't think, unless I'm aiming way down here. And then you might miss a couple, but you're still knocking them down. So I hope you all enjoyed and find this video helpful. If you did, please do me a huge favor and smash that like button. Also, don't be afraid to drop a comment below, and be sure to subscribe for future content. So hope you all have a good day. I'll see you on the next one. Later.